It's lovely to have you here with us. I say afternoon, but of course that very much depends on where you are. I'm based in the UK, so it is afternoon here. I suppose for many of you, it may still be morning. We will find out shortly, I'm sure, where you're from. We have a lot of people from Europe, but also Argentina, Chile, fantastic. Peru, where you definitely have morning rather than afternoon at this stage. Great to see so many people from so many locations as ever. That's great. As you know, we have 4 sessions, one after another, and I hope you will be able to stay with us for all of them. I will start with a product presentation. I'm very happy to be able to show you our new pre-primary course, My Disney Stars and Friends. And as you can see, my name is Kasia Delaro. I'm one of the product managers on the primary team at Pearson. So I'll start now, while I'm still keeping an eye on your lovely messages about where you're from. And I will run you through what we are planning to do over the next 40 or 45 minutes. I will start with a little introduction to what the course is all about. Then I will talk to you briefly about the course components, and we will spend most of the session on looking at what makes My Disney Stars and Friends great. And as part of this, we will also look at what the unit structure looks like. We're not going to have time for a separate unit walkthrough, but I'll weave it into the rest of the presentation so you have an idea. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat. If I fail to notice any questions, Saskia is here with us to point the questions out to me towards the end of the session, and I will be able to answer them then. So feel free to ask any questions in the chat now, throughout the session, or at the end, whenever they come to your minds. Okay. So let's start with a brief introduction to the course. This is a 3-level pre-primary course, and we designed it for a scenario ideally of 3 to 5 meetings of children with children a week. But we do also have a plan of how to use it when you have fewer hours, so you can use it in other scenarios as well. The key thing about the course, as I'm sure you have guessed from its title and the covers, is that it brings together the magic of Disney and Pearson educational content to give learners this really fun and very motivating start to language learning. And that is something we are very happy about, because the motivation that Disney stories and characters bring to learning is really quite unique. But there is more in the course than that, and I would like to also tell you today about how we explore future skills and what future skills we explore, and also how we put every effort into making this course simple, flexible, and easy to teach. And another thing that we are very proud of is that it's based on the global scale of English. And before I start telling you in greater detail about what this course looks like, I'll just talk to you briefly about the course components, starting from the teacher's components. What you can see here on this slide are print components for the teachers. And of course, we have the teacher's book. We also have posters, story cards, which have stories frame by frame, so you can go through the stories in circle time with your students. And also picture cards or flashcards with all the key vocabulary. The teacher's book also includes the access code to the Pearson English portal, where you have all the resources. The resources that are included with the code are, first of all, the presentation tool, which allows you to present the course in the class. That includes student book pages and workbook pages, all the audio, all the video, and also additional interactive activities. And the audio is available in British and American English. So you can choose whichever version you prefer to teach, or you can play both for fun. the teacher's access also includes access to the resources, and the resources, among other things, include digital versions of the posters, picture cards, and story cards that I showed you on the previous slide. So you can use them in the print format, which is great for playing various games with the little children, but you can also use them in digital format. And the resources also include ebooks for student books and workbooks. So I really do hope that, especially for the little children, it will be possible to continue teaching face-to-face. But if it's not possible, then you do also have quite a broad range of digital components, which should hopefully keep you going in any scenario. So that's the teacher's components. And we also have, of course, for students, a student book and a workbook, both of which come with a code. And the code for the student's book gives you access to student's book ebook, but also resources aimed at parents or carers, which allow parents or carers to have some more fun with English language at home. And the workbook includes access code to the workbook ebook. So these are the components of the course. And now that we have covered all the basics, we can move on to the fun bit, which is all about the actual features of the course. So, as I mentioned at the start, there are several sort of key things that we believe really makes the course great. The first one is the world of Disney stories and characters, which really brings this unique motivation to the classroom and lets students see the language in a context that they recognize. The second one is future skills, and we are focusing on these aspects which are referred to usually as social and emotional development. And in particular, we are focusing on building self-awareness, social awareness, and persistence and growth. And also, I would like to show you how the course is simple, flexible, and easy to teach, and that the syllabus is built using the global scale of English. So we're going to look at each of these aspects separately now, starting with Disney stories and characters. I mentioned that this context really helps children to engage and be motivated by the learning materials in a unique way. Obviously, children recognize and know a lot of the Disney stories and characters, and they love them, and that helps them stay on task longer. As you know, 3-4-year-olds do not have a very long attention span, but if they're doing something they really enjoy, they are able to do it just a little bit longer, and that is really quite beneficial to their learning. Another thing that is very, very important about this known context is that it really helps them relate their learning to something they already know. There's a lot of new that they are experiencing in an English language classroom. They are learning new vocabulary. They are learning a lot of new language. They are meeting new friends. And to be able to relate all that is happening in the classroom to a context that they already know. It's a fictional context, but it's so well known to them that it's almost like real to them. It is very helpful, and it really helps them understand everything much easier. The stories, the Disney stories that we have in the course are very rich in values, and we explored these values in particular. There's a lot in the stories that relates to how important friendships are, how important it is to be true to yourself, and how important it is to learn to work with other people and appreciate other people. And all of this is really quite fundamental to the future skills that we are developing in the course as well. As you will have seen looking at the characters here and at the covers that I've been showing you, all the characters in the course are the same artwork style. This is an artwork style that has been developed in particular to appeal to very young learners aged sort of 2 to 6. and it's simple and very relatable. So we have a different set of characters in every unit, but they're all drawn in the same style, and that makes the look and feel quite consistent. Okay, so that's where we are in terms of the overall introduction to how the Disney characters appear in the course. And now I would like to show you in a little bit more detail how that is happening. I wonder if you can recognize this character here. Does anybody recognize the film that the character comes from? Yes. People recognize that this is Olaf. Excellent. And Olaf is helping us introduce the topic of the weather. All of the examples in today's presentation come from Level 2 Unit 2. Level 2 Unit 2 is about the weather. And children start the unit, every unit, by learning the core vocabulary, learning about the topic of the unit, and meeting the characters. All of this is happening on this first page, as you can see. The next moment when children meet the Disney characters is in lesson 4. Where we have a lesson dedicated to early mathematical work, to colors, numbers, and from level 2 also shapes. And the same Disney characters appear in this lesson in every unit. And the key moment for meeting Disney characters and exploring the story is, of course, the story lesson. We have divided the story lesson into 2 lessons, really, 5A and 5B, thinking that in the first lesson you might want to explore the story itself. And in the second lesson, you might want to explore the value while still remembering the story. So this is a story that is in lesson 5, as I said. So by this time, students will have done their grammar lesson, their vocabulary lesson, their grammar lesson, a lesson about feelings that I will return to in a second, and a lesson about numbers or colors or shapes. And this story lesson really consolidates everything that they have learned so far and also adds a value. So all the bits of language that they have learned so far are brought together in a story, and a value is also introduced. And all of this is happening with Disney characters. And then our last encounter with the Disney characters in the unit is in the review lesson at the end of the unit, where students are again going over all the language that they have learned and doing a little project, which is simple, based on a press out at the back of the book, so it doesn't require a huge amount of craft activity, and allows them to remember all the language with the use of a song or a video, but also allows them to produce the language if they are ready for it. So this is how the Disney characters appear in the unit. And I would like to move on to how the future skills appear in the unit. The future skills that we have in the course all stem from the personal and social capabilities framework, which is a Pearson framework, which is part of the employability framework. Of course, when they are 3 or 4, it's quite early to think about employability. But I'm mentioning this because it's part of a bigger framework, and these are very key skills for children to have. When we were planning this course, this was before the pandemic, and we thought that it would be very important for children of this age to focus on self-awareness, social awareness, and persistence and growth in particular. And I am very happy that we chose these skills, because these are the skills that quite likely a lot of the children will have been missing out on over the last year and a half. And for those who are 3 or 4 or 5, this would be a very substantial part of their life, when the social relations, especially with other children, perhaps haven't been what we would normally expect them to be. So there's quite a bit of catching up to do here, perhaps, in the field of working with other children, appreciating other children. And I'm very happy that this course does address this and helps you develop these skills with the children. We do also have all the usual 21st century skills, such as critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication throughout the course. So that is all there as well. But we thought we would give more attention and highlight the self-awareness, the social awareness, and the persistence and growth. And here is how we're doing this. So in every unit, again, there's a lesson 3, which is devoted to feelings. And students learn to name a new feeling in every unit. This is, as I said, level 2, unit 2. And the feeling that students are learning about here is I'm excited. And the way we treat those feelings is, of course, as you know, when you're 3 or 4, being aware of the feeling that you feel is quite a challenge. And naming it is another challenge in your own language, let alone a foreign language. So this is where we start. We start by naming these feelings and sort of focusing on the child itself and focusing on the self-awareness. However, we then move on slowly within the lesson, but also in particular as children grow older, with the levels of the course from self-awareness to social awareness, as children are encouraged to recognize this feeling in characters, in photos, in their friends, and by level 3, also encouraged to think what they can do if their friend is sad or scared. So we're sort of slowly moving from self-awareness to social awareness. There's also a chant in every feelings lesson, so children can also focus on this chant and learn the feeling with the help of the chant. As you can see on this page, we also have a sticker. And on this sticker, we have Olaf, who is excited because the feeling is I'm excited. And children can get this sticker as a reward and to encourage their good work during the lesson. But all of these stickers come together also on a poster. I mentioned at the beginning that one of the components you have is a poster. And there is a poster related to feelings per level. So this poster for level 2 brings together all the feelings that the children have learned throughout the level. And you can see that in unit 2, we have Olaf and I'm excited. This is a useful poster to have for class management. You can, if you have it on the wall, or if you're using it in the digital format on your interactive whiteboard or in your screen, you can refer children to these feelings when they are struggling with their behavior, with their feelings. You can try and help them understand that they are upset or maybe happy or maybe tired. So this is a useful reference point as well, hopefully for you. The story is another point where we focus a lot on the feelings and the values, and there's quite a lot of focus on social awareness in particular, and thinking about how our behavior impacts on others. The story returns to the feeling that we've covered in the same unit, but also introduces a value. The value here is I love my friends. So this is focusing very much on the importance and appreciation of friends and helping out friends. And just like on the page with the feelings, we have a sticker which you can see here in the bottom right-hand corner of the page, which is the sticker related to the value. And again, we have a values poster which brings together all the values from the level. And this again, can be a very useful tool for classroom management. You can refer students to this poster if they are struggling with their behavior a little bit, and if you feel that you need to remind them that one of the values of this class is I share, and they need to share their crayons with their friends, or that I help out. So this is another useful tool. I will go back briefly to the previous slide to point out another thing that we have on every story spread, and that is that blue panel with faces, where children can mark how much they like the story, basically what they thought about the story. We thought it's an important aspect of this being true to yourself, to try and encourage children to think independently right from the beginning, and try and think for themselves and mark what they think about the story. So that is another aspect of future skills development that we have in every story lesson. I will go back to where we were. And another aspect of the future skills that we are focusing on, as I mentioned, is persistence and growth. Persistence and growth is quite key to educational success. It's basically the idea, the understanding that if we're not very good at something, we just need to keep trying. And if you try again, you will get there. And it's a little bit difficult if you're 3 or 4 and you just don't like coloring, for example, then you might want to not color, but it's quite important to keep trying. And so the way we approach persistence and growth is we encourage this reflection at the end of the lesson, but in particular at the end of the unit, which is related to helping children identify moments when they struggled with something, but they kept going and they succeeded, and praising them for this effort in particular. And again, there is a sticker for the end of the unit, so you can tie this reflection with a reward for their effort. Okay, so I'm going to move on again, and we also have a puppet with the course. The puppet also helps with modeling behavior. You can use, we have a Mickey Mouse puppet, which is really great, and I have it here with me. I have him here with me, so I'll get him to wave to you. If you do not have a Mickey Mouse puppet, you can use any other puppet or toy. The idea is that having a little puppet or toy in the classroom really does help model the behavior and engagement, and being kind and polite and being interested. And it's really very helpful. So you have a lot of teaching notes helping you build a puppet or a toy into your lessons to help you manage the classroom. So that's all I wanted to say about the future skills in the course. And I would like to move on to the next part, which is all about flexibility and ease of use, and how the course will help you with classroom management. So I mentioned at the beginning that the ideal scenario for this course is to have 3 to 5 lessons a week, or 3 to 5 meetings with the students a week. But of course, it is quite flexible with very young learners. We all know they can spend quite a lot of time coloring, or quite a lot of time singing, or even quite a lot of time getting ready to start. So there's a lot that you can do with how you manage the class. But we are also providing you with clear-cut scenarios which are available in the teacher's book, what material you can go for if you have less time or more time, and what you need to focus on if you have very little time. So that is available to you. And we tried to make it quite visual and easy to use in terms of the teacher's book. So what you're looking at here is a spread covering one lesson. This is the lesson about colors that you probably recognize. And you can, I'm not sure how well you can see the detail on your screens, but you have this green panel on the left, which gives you all the core language that you are covering within this lesson. Vocabulary, grammar, language. You also have the future skills that are covered, the key global scale of English descriptors that that the children are mastering, and also the core materials that you need. So it's all listed in this green panel. You also have a smaller version of a student book page and the workbook page for this lesson. And on these pages in red, which I hope you can see, you have answers marked. So you can see at a glance what it is that children should be circling or drawing in their books. The lesson notes include, and this I'm not really sure how well you can see, but I hope you can, little green circles which have a fast forward icon on them. These are the core activities. So if you have very little time, these are the activities that we would encourage you to cover. And then depending on how much more time you have, you can cover other activities listed here or additional activities. So this hopefully will make it quite manageable for you from the point of view of teachers looking at this teacher's book, which is really quite visual, and finding your way around it. And another way that we try to make life easier for you and for the students is making sure that the structure is quite repetitive. It is easier for you, but it is also very much easier for the students. There's, as I said, there's a lot of new stuff going on in the English language classroom. So it is quite important for them to be able to know their way around and understand what to expect. And it does give them a sense of security and safety. And of course, when children feel safe, they learn better. So it is quite important that the structure is understood by them. And we have every unit with the same structure, and every type of lesson within the unit also has the same structure. So for example, every vocabulary lesson will follow the same structure. Every story lesson will follow the same structure. So hopefully that makes it easier for both you and the students. Another thing that we have come up with, which you can see on this page, is that we have audio paths to follow with a finger for students. So as they listen, they can move from one picture to another, and that helps them follow the audio, but it also helps you see whether they are following the audio if you see if their finger is in the right place. And another thing that we have come up with to make it simpler for you and for students and also for parents is that we always have one page of student book per one page of workbook. So the material is introduced in the student book, and then there's extra practice with particular attention to fine motor skills in the workbook. And there's always this clear correlation. I said quite a lot about structuring the lesson and how important it is for students to have this anchoring in the structure so that they feel safe and that they know what to expect. We have also prepared with this course a set of toolkit songs which help you manage the lesson flow depending on how much energy there is in the classroom. So hello and goodbye lessons, as you can probably guess, are designed to open and end the lesson, and will help you mark this start and end of the English language lesson where English is spoken. And these are sort of built into the lesson by us in the teaching notes and in the presentation tool online. There are other songs which we have left for you to decide when to use them. And these include Good Job Song. So this is a song that you can sing with the children to praise their effort as often as you see fit. Sit Down Song is a song designed to calm children down after they have been playing a game, for example, and got quite excited, or dancing to a song, again, quite excited, and you want them to switch from this excited mode to a calm, focused mode. So this song or chant really helps them refocus and get back to their desks. Let's Move is kind of the opposite. if children have been focusing on, for example, drawing or coloring something, and they are getting a little bit too full of energy and a little bit fidgety, you can use this song to help them release their energy so that they can focus again. There's a lot of songs and chants in the course, so you can use other songs as well, but this one is always to hand. And then finally, there's a song which is supposed to help students clean up, tidy up. This is, of course, important when they have been doing a project and there's a bit of mess in the classroom. But it is also worth encouraging students to just generally keep their desks tidy and make sure that everything around them is clean and tidy. It's part of self-management and quite good practice. This is the song that I would like to play for you now.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, look at the classroom. Uh-oh, let's clean up, let's clean up, let's clean up. Now!
So I can see that you enjoyed this song, so I'm very happy about that. I like it a lot as well. And finally, we also have the songs are all available on the portal on as part of the presentation tool, but also as part of the digital resources. All the audio is available there. I could see that question. So, and also as part of the sort of flexible and easy to use, we hope the course has quite a broad digital offering, which I did mention at the beginning, but I will mention again that we have a presentation tool which includes the audio and the student book and the workbook pages and the video and interactive activities. We also have ebooks and the parent site with course resources that students can use at home. So hopefully this will help you fit with any scenarios, although I do sincerely hope that all the teaching will be happening face-to-face, especially for very young learners. And you also will have access to Pre-Primary Academy, which includes additional pre-primary resources prepared by Pearson, and you can use that with any course that you're teaching or using the Pearson platform. I mentioned at the beginning that the course is based on the global scale of English, and I just wanted to refer to this here, that the range for the course is between 10 and 18 points on the global scale of English. These children are still quite little, so there's a limit to how fast they can go with their language learning. And the main focus is on the speaking and listening skill, obviously starting with listening and hoping children build up the courage to speak as well. It is quite useful to know where we are on the global scale of English, because it will also help you find and select additional materials. And if you use the Pre-Primary Academy, for example, that is quite a useful thing to know. So these are sort of the core features of the course that I wanted to talk to you about, but I do also have some other fun things that the course includes that I would like to share with you. And one of them is that we have phonics at the end of the book. I mentioned that the focus is mostly on speaking and listening, but some of you may want to look at the sound letter correlation with some groups. And some of you may also want to look at how letters form words by level 3. So all of this is possible in this additional section at the back of the book. And there's a lesson for every unit. So again, we're looking at an additional lesson for level 2, unit 2. So we have Olaf again talking to us about rain. So again, this phonics lesson will have a page in the student book and a page in the workbook, as all the other lessons do. And We also have exciting videos, and one of these videos is a song video which comes with lesson 2. This is a video that covers the key language of the unit, the key grammar of the unit, as well as combines it with the key vocabulary of the unit. This is again the same unit that we're talking about all the time. So it's the weather. As you will remember, we have learned in the vocabulary lesson in lesson 1, we have learned words such as sunny, windy, rainy, and this video will use all of these words and combine it with a key structure for the unit. We're providing this as a song and as a video, so you can use it whichever way works best for you. And you can we encourage you to use it as a video because there's quite a nice choreography in there, so it allows students to act out the words that they are singing, which again helps them remember the words, so it's really quite useful. I'm going to stop talking about it now and just play it for you so you can enjoy it and hopefully get a little bit of movement as well.
It's a sunny day, hooray.
It's a windy day, hooray.
It's a rainy day, hooray.
Sunny, windy, rainy, snowy, hot, cold too.
It's a snowy day, hooray.
It's a hot day, hooray.
It's a cold day, hooray.
So I hope you enjoyed this little moment of dancing to a video to break your sitting in front of the screen. We are encouraging also this video to be reused in the last review lesson because it does help children remember all the core language of the unit before they do their project and can actually use the language of the unit. So this video is used twice in lesson 2 and lesson 7. Of course, you can use it as often as you like as well. At the end of the unit, we also have another video which can be seen as a reward for completing the unit, but also allows students to really see all the language that they have learned in a new context. And this is a Disney video that follows after lesson 7 of every unit. So this video this is again level 2, unit 2. So we're talking about the weather, and you will remember that students have covered the weather language. It's a sunny day, it's a rainy day, as you have just heard, it's a snowy day, but they have also learned I'm excited, and they have also learned about the value of loving and helping friends. So I would like us to watch this video, and maybe you will be able to find the language that has been covered within the whole unit in this video.
It's Bambi and his friends. Hello, Thumper. It's a sunny day. Hello, Flower. What's the weather like? It's rainy. Where's Bambi? Oh, there he is. It's snowy today. It's cold. Look, it's Thumper. He's excited. He likes snowy days. Whee! That's fun. Come on, Bambi. Oh dear, look at Bambi. Look at Bambi's legs. Thumper helps Bambi. Bambi loves his friend.
So as you could see, the video included quite a lot of the language that they have learned throughout the unit in a very natural way, in a different context, different, but also very engaging and very relatable. And we tried to use a different context so that they can see the same language, but in a different context, to answer your question. We have Bambi here, but we have a different film for every unit, of course. So this is a classic. We also have a lot of modern films. There's quite a good choice. This is my last slide for today, really. And this is the end of my presentation. I'm very happy to take questions if there are any questions. I saw that there was one question about the availability of these videos. All of the videos, as well as all of the audio, is available with the access code for the teacher and for the parent or carer with the course that comes with, so that all the codes come with the books. I'm very happy to see that you like the course and that you like the songs and the videos. That's really wonderful. And it's fantastic to be able to talk to you. I was just thinking as I was playing this video, a wonderful opportunity to be able to meet so many teachers and to talk to you directly. I'm not sure if we have any questions. I'm going to just check very quickly. Do not see any. Thank you for your lovely comments. And since I do not really see questions, maybe we can wrap up. If there is, there's a question about phonics. Yes, there was a question about phonics earlier. Sorry about that. I'm glad I spotted this. And I think you asked about how many letters we have introduced. So the focus in the first level is on consonants, starting from the easier ones. And then in level 2, we are beginning to look at vowels as well. And in level 3, we're also looking at some clusters such as sh or ch. So we're going slowly. And of course, we have 9 units in every level. So there are sort of 9 lessons focusing on phonics, going from consonants to then vowels and clusters. And by level 3, we're starting with a sort of letter to sound correlation. By level 3, we're also looking at short words and how sounds can be identified, not just at the beginning of the word, but also inside the word. I hope that answers your question. Excellent. If there are any questions that we have failed to spot, I'm sure we will be able to answer them for you after the session online. And for now, I would like to thank you very much. And I hope you can stay with us for the rest of the presentations today. Thank you and goodbye.